Over the past couple of days, I've been listening to several family members and friends who have shared with me their journey of struggle and difficulty, frustration sometimes, and pain, and in touch with their own mortality. And in listening to that, I've just been aware that in those moments when life is really hard, I go back to what a pastor said to me in ministry and sharing with people of the community. And he would say, no matter where we are in our lives, we have to place our little hand in the big hand of God, because God is walking with us in that journey, no matter where we are in faith. Today's gospel continues where we left off. We're reading through Matthew. This is today's chapter 16, verses 21 to 27. And last week, Peter identifies who Jesus is, that internal question. And he's praised by Jesus. Well, today, Jesus reminds the disciples. From then on, Jesus is telling the disciples, we're going to Jerusalem. We will suffer greatly at the hands of the elders, be put to death, and on the third day raised to life. Jesus will show them, not only tell them, but show them with his very life of what that means. This time, Peter is listening, and the antennas of concern go up. Peter is worried because all of the disciples it seems to imply their concern raised when he says, we are going to Jerusalem. Because for the disciples, they understood Jerusalem, it was the place where prophets go to die. And that sense of death was very real. It was a volatile place. So he was more than a little reluctant. So then he takes Jesus aside and says, wait, may you be spared. May this, God forbid that this happen. And then Jesus rebukes him. Instead of praising him, he turns around and says, you're not thinking, you're judging by human standards and not by God. Because this is what discipleship means. It means to love and to serve and to be willing to give our lives. And in that mystery of giving our lives, we are receiving way more than we could ever imagine. The disciples at this time are reluctant because then it's like they're understanding that place of Jerusalem is that place, that symbol for them, that place of suffering and pain and loss. It's that cycle. They've been in the Galilee region of the sense of ministry and service and goodness, and now they're journeying. And that metaphor of those locations for us is part of our lives. It's that journey of our life right there with them. Because that goal of discipleship that Jesus is driving home to the disciples drives home to us. Discipleship is about surrendering to God, understanding that we are not in control. We control very little in the world, and of ourselves, how we choose to act is what we control. God is in charge. The pastor reminds us, we put our little hand, our lives in the big hand of God. That call to discipleship. And that mystery is that when we give our lives, we receive so much more. That sense of giving. So this week, take a moment to sit with that mystery of what Jesus is calling us to. That sense of, we're going to Jerusalem. We go to Jerusalem in our lives. We all face that journey, that cycle of things that are really hard and things that are good, things that are a struggle and things that are painful and things that are joyful. It's all mixed into all of that stuff of life. So what does it mean for us to love and to serve one another in the depths of that humanity that is full of everything? The trenches of humanity, the depths of human life, the greatness of human life, and the depths of human suffering. What does it mean for us to love and serve there? To let go into God and trust that God is with us in all of that, in all of life. How will we live that mystery of letting go so that we may receive more? That somehow in losing all, we gain more than we could ever imagine. So this week, let the words of the gospel remind us of a few things. That our mission is to love. And in that love, we serve. And this week and every day, we give your all. And hold nothing back. Because in the end, it's all about love. That mystery. This week, in our journey to Jerusalem, trust that we place our hand in the big hand of God, who is always with us. Amen.